Almost 2 months ago, I lost my full-time job. And the crazy part is the whole year leading up to that month, I was already planning on leaving that job. But planning on leaving a stable job and actually leaving a stable job are two completely different things. And then 2 months ago, I didn't have to make that decision anymore. God made it for me. So I used to work as a full-time music production teacher, and I was also part of a media team at a school. It was amazing. I met beautiful people there that taught me about video and that taught me about God. If it wasn't for me at that job, I actually wouldn't have learned how to use a video camera. I wouldn't be doing my video stuff at all. I didn't do any type of video work. I didn't do video editing. I didn't shoot videos. That was one thing that I felt like God wanted me to learn while I was at that job. One main reason why I stayed at that job was because I had a dependable income. I had security while I was at that job. But honestly, towards the end, I felt like God was calling me out of that job. I felt like God was calling me to pursue something that was gonna better His kingdom. And that job wasn't it. But the reason I stayed at that job was because of a steady source of income. And what's crazy is that at the beginning of this year, I had just got married and me and my wife were in the Maldives. And while in the Maldives, we were chilling on the beach, and I just remember having this revelation that God put me on this earth to work. I imagined myself every single day doing what I was doing in that moment, which was nothing. Just relaxing and doing nothing. And it was a weird feeling. I felt like that life wasn't for me. And I'm super grateful to have opportunities where I get to rest and take a break. But to do that all the time, I felt like that's not something I would want to do. And then I remember I turned to my wife and I told her, when we get back from the Maldives, I'm gonna start my video business and I'm gonna quit my job by the time the school year ends. So when we get back from the Maldives, I start my video business, and then maybe a month later, we had spring break. And in spring break, I went full out and I landed my first client within the first week that I started really trying to build my video business. And that was one sign that God showed me to where I knew that was something I had to pursue. That was a calling that He had on my life. And all it took for me was to step in faith and follow His words and to follow His will on my life that He's already spoken to my heart. So when the end of the school year comes, me and my wife buys a house, and that's when security really caught me in shackles. And it makes sense. As a man of the house, I want to be the one that provides. I want to be the one that brings the money home so that we don't have to worry about bills. And it was in this security that led me to have less faith in what God called me to do. I had a vision for what I wanted to do, but what I didn't have was the courage or the faith to completely let go of the security that job gave me. And then the job got shut down. It was honestly super sudden, and it wasn't something that any of my coworkers or myself could prepare for. And honestly, I remember feeling in the moment a sense of hope, with a sense of fear, with a sense of doubt, and with a sense of fire. I remember going home that day, and my wife was super supportive, and all I could think in my heart was gratefulness. Because I didn't have the courage to leave the job that God was calling me out of, but God made that decision for me. I could have been stuck there for years, but by the grace of God, He took me out of that job and forced me to take that first step in faith to start my own business. And so I started. And I wish I could tell you that the first month was amazing, but it was honestly filled with rejection. It was filled with doubt. It was filled with uncertainty. I was learning how to deal with rejection. I was learning how to outreach clients. I was building an operating system to make my business more efficient. I was figuring out how to do business calls. I was figuring out all of these things that I was never taught to do. Most importantly, I learned that faith didn't just stop after Bible study and after prayer. What faith looked like to me was praying, doing a Bible study, doing cold DMs, doing outreach calls, doing business calls, shooting free videos, editing videos for businesses. Faith was stewarding the talents and the gifts that God gave me and using them in action. And not just using them, but building upon my talents and mastering them. Slowly, things started to move. In just this month, I've had the opportunity to have signed a client for a $2,000 retainer for 10 reels. I've had the opportunity to film and edit my brother-in-law's draft day video. Actually today, I had the opportunity to sign my first 3-month retainer. And now, just in my 2nd month, only by the grace and the goodness of God have I been able to replace what I was making at my full-time job solely by doing my video work. And honestly, in these past 2 months, there's so many things that God has taught me. One main thing that He's taught me was stewardship. I used to think that stewardship only had to do with money, but He's taught me that everything that He's blessed us with in this life, we have to be a good steward of, whether it's money, whether it's your significant other, whether it's your family, your home, or even your talents. He gives us these things graciously, and we have to do our best to take care of them and to nurture it. And most importantly, to use it for His kingdom. Another big lesson that God's taught me is to take the step. We can honestly get so caught up in planning to where we plan so much, but we never move forward. And it's only by His grace that He forcefully made me take the step. And I'm so grateful for that. I encourage you, if you do have something that you feel like God's calling you to do, to not just plan it, but to plan and to take the first step. And honestly, I haven't even made it yet. I'm still at the beginning on month 2. And that's why I actually wanted to start making YouTube content, because I didn't want to start when I made it. I want to document the process because this is real. I still go through times of uncertainty. I still go through times of doubt in month 2, but with God, all things are possible. I think that's why it's so important to have faith, especially when starting a business. There's so many ways that the enemy could attack your mind and your heart. And when you meditate on God's word day and night, He is your foundation. His promises and His word is the shield against the lies and the doubts of the enemy. So this isn't a video about me making it. This video is showing you that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to fail. It's okay to feel uncertainty. In James it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. You know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. So let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." So if I can encourage anybody today, persevere, trust in God, and have faith, big faith, that He will provide.